Your characters' names again are Husk and Kaijo.
People just call me Kai.
You guys are visiting this small northern town. You probably got word that they were having some kind of monster issue, people disappearing, and you have ventured north to try to see if you can take this on as a gig. Lend your expertise, maybe get paid, get provisions, build a little bit more of your reputation as monster slayers. You hike through the lands to the north until you come to a little bit of a bluff and you see this coastal town not too far away. And you continue on in towards the town. As you get close to the town, you can see that there is a bit of commotion happening at the edge of town. You can see some people are gathered around a wrecked cart. And what do you guys want to do?
Kai looks over to Husk and in his low tone, guttural voice goes, "Would you look at all of that? You think they might need some help down there?"
Everyone needs our help. Just will
Is
we be
that-
so generous to give it? Well, what will we get in return?
Put his hand on his shoulder and goes, "There's always coin to be made when those are in trouble." And I start heading and kind of motion for him to follow me towards all the commotion.
Cool. So you walk over towards to the main gate, and there's a cart there, and the cart was being dragged by a horse, and part of the cart has been like smashed off, removed. The back wheel is gone. Most of the stuff that was in there probably fell out, and the horse seems spooked. And there's somebody has grabbed the horse's reins and trying to calm it down. And there's a guardsman looking over, a little bit of crowd of some townsfolk, and they seem to be puzzled on what's happening.
Kai walks up to the guardsman. "Is there any way I could help, sir?"
He looks at you, and your intimidating impression is kind of taken back for a moment. You get the feeling that this guy's like a small town guard, maybe not used to such rough-looking individuals. And he says, who are you?"
I rest my hand on my blade and go, "My name is Kai, at your service."
All right. Where did you guys come from?
"Don't matter, it looks like you got an issue here. Let's deal with it."
Well, and he gestures to the cart. "I don't know exactly what the issue is." And then one of the other townsfolk is trying to talk to him and says, I think this is Old Man Durham's cart. Isn't this his horse?
Where does Old Man Durham live?
Well, Old Man Durham lives in town, but he usually makes runs towards the
Where
northern
in town?
salts. Well, he has a house in town. It's a pretty small town. We all kind of live near each other.
I've never been here before.
And then Kai puts a hand out and pulls Husk back a little bit. And
Tell me where he
says,
lives, eh?
Husk. I got this. Sorry about my friend here. We're just trying to help. What do you think he is?
Well, he normally makes runs up towards the northern ruins where he collects salt rocks and brings them back. The kid even reaches in part of the thing and pulls out a chunk of salty rock and says, "This is the kind of stuff he brings back. It usually sells it in town."
I would like to make a perception check to kind of just take a general, with my
knowledge
of me and Husk being out in the wild for so long, what kind of creature could have done this damage to the cart.
So you get close to the cart and you look down, and you guys have been through some shit, but it reminds you back to before you were Ronin, when you served Daimyo, and the damage that the siege weapons would do, which would fling giant rocks into the air, and they would come crashing down. It looks like that, like from above, a giant object struck the cart. You guys had probably some trebuchets or catapults that had a similar effect.
Coastal town, so it's kind of an open area.
Yeah, mostly open area, yeah.
So we would see him if he was around still.
Yeah, so as you look, you can see where the cart, because a quarter of the cart's broken.
Oh.
So it's kind of dragging as the horse ran, and you can see drag marks from where the cart was across leading away from the town up the trail towards the north.
I'm gonna talk to the horse.
Oh yeah,
I
talk to the
forgot I
horse.
could do that. I rolled a 10.
Okay, that means you can talk to the horse. Parlay as though it was a person, right?
Yeah, and it'll perform one simple task before departing. What happened to your old master, boy?
The horse is like, I don't know. There was a loud crash, and the cart changed, and I looked back, and he was gone, and I heard rumbling, and so I just ran home.
Oh.
I think something was behind me. I heard pounding behind me, like giant footfalls. I just kept running.
Well, you did good, boy. And I grab some hay off the ground and start feeding it. And so, calm down. It's all right. It's all right. And you see
The purse.
Husk's like, nurturing side, and everybody starts to like drop their guard around him. And then he's just like, "What you looking at?"
Yeah, you definitely see the person who was trying to calm down the horse, like it was holding range, is like kind of lets go, and it's like, oh. And then you look, what are you looking at? They're like startled, and he takes a step back. But it does definitely seem like the horse is more relaxed.
I'll discern realities and try and track where the cart came from. Ooh, 12.
The marks left by the cart are fairly clear on the trail, and you could easily start heading north and follow this trail
Is
back.
there anything worth taking from the cart?
The cart is mostly broken. There's some salt rocks.
I'll take a salt, and I feed another one to the horse.
Yeah, the horse enjoys the salt rock and licks it for a while as you pull it.
You're free now. You can do what you want. Be free, be a horse, or go home. It's your decision. And I slap it on the ass.
And it just trots into town because it feels safer in the town.
That horse is all right.
The guard's like, okay. Well, you seem to know your way around animals.
Yeah, my friend here, he's got a way with the animals, he does.
Now you gonna tell me where this Mr. Dern lived? Old man Dern?
Old man Dern lived in one of the shacks by the market.
Which bloody shack?
The younger boy's like, I could take them, and the guard's like, before we go any further, I need to know a little more about who you guys are and why you've conveniently shown up to solve our problem.
Well, we are wanderers, you could say. Don't got a place, and our story's too long to tell right now with a lot going on. I look at him and kind of lean in a little bit and go, plus, if I told you anyway, it might make you sick to your stomach. +1, that's going to be 8.
That's the mixed result. He's like, I could use somebody to go and investigate what's going on here. We don't have a lot of guard in this town. But I'm keeping my eye on you. If you two do anything funny, you'll have to answer to the law around here. You hear me?
Pat him on the shoulder. Right. We're off. We're going to go find your boy.
I want to
following
I want
Husk.
to drag the cart to Mr. Dern's house.
So the younger man that was standing out there, I was like, I'll show you Old Man Dern's house. It's this way. And
It's
he starts
about
walking into the
time.
town. Cool. So you guys each grab part of the reins and pull it, and it's dragging, but it mostly moves. It's got most of its wheels. And other people are in the town, as you pull it through the market, are definitely looking over and mumbling to each other like, but isn't that Old Man Dern's cart? Who are those guys?
Full
And the young
service
guy-
towing service.
The young guy's like waving at other towns. Like, hi! Certainly a small town, so any sort of news travels fast. And he leads you to a spot. Old Man Dern usually parks his cart here, and he gestures to a spot behind, like there's like a stall that is like at the market, and then like the spot where he pointed to putting the cart, and then just like a little one-room shack that is standing next to them.
Drag the cart to the spot, just drop it off with a mighty kaboom. Walk in to the shack and just look for any possessions that I could smell to grab his scent.
You pop open the door to his shack, and he doesn't have much, but there is like some clothes and his bed.
I give
Maybe
it
a
all a
bedpan.
big. I get down on the ground and I'm taking it all in. Just
So the kid is with you too, and he's like looking in the doorway, and then looks over at Kai and says, "Is he always like this?"
He's always like this. No need to worry, lad. And I pat him on the head.
don't look at me while I'm working.
And the kid like slowly kind of turns away as he's looking at you still, and then eventually turns his body around.
So, you guys ever see anything weird around here? Out of the normal? People who aren't supposed to be here? You get attacks often? Anything out of the ordinary?
Rubs his face where he's got like a little bit of peach fuzz coming in. He says, "Well, usually no. Sometimes there's some odd sailors that come through,
Sailors.
but it's
Makes
not
sense.
usually a big deal. Though I don't think Old Man Durham is the only person that's gone missing recently. Now that I think about it,
Wait, you said people have gone missing. How many people that?
you might want to like talk to the mayor or somebody.
Ah, come on. You told me there were people missing. You must know at this point it's a small town, isn't it? And I'm kind of pressuring him a little bit, trying to.
Roll charisma."
That is a 10.
There was a beggar who often during the summertime would live out by the lake. And we haven't seen him in a long time. Usually he comes back to living in the town as the weather gets colder. But he hasn't done that. And I don't know if it's related, but so there's these two guys I know, and they were up late at the lake, after they were supposed to be. And they heard some loud noises coming from the ruin. And they kind of told a crazy story of something in the darkness coming out of the ruins and then sliding into the lake. And then they ran in fear. It just sounds like a wise tale to me, but, since you asked.
No, this is all good information. Look, the guard outside tasked us with finding the old man, and we just want to get the best idea of what's been going on around here. Because this just seems a little out of ordinary for me, if you ask me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It is weird. I don't know what could have done that to his cart.
Right, right. Hey, by the way, you mentioned ruins. Which direction are those?
Oh, those are up the northern path. If you head north, you'll get to a fork in the path, and if you take the right fork, it'll lead you around past the lake, and then keep going, and you get to the ruins.
Sounds great. Hey, you know what? You go run along now. I'll take care of this, all right?
Oh, okay. And he
Thanks,
kind
pal.
of walks off.
Got anything, pal?
I got it. Let's roll.
All right, I got a little bit of information, so I kind of know what we might be up against. And I got a bad feeling about it. And I guess we're gonna start. You want to try and follow your nose and see where that leads us, or you want to go for the ruins?
I'm gonna go to the site of where the cart was dragged from.
So you can pretty
Where the
easily
attack
follow
happened.
that cart path you found. So first you guys travel up the road north for a while, and you see the curve to the right, and that's where the trail goes to. And you come across the lake area, and you continue further north to where you see these ruins, and they're kind of built into the side of a hill. This old hand-cut stone blocks built up at this oversized cave entrance, 9 feet tall, and it pushes back into the hill as a cave. And out here you see at the front of the cave there is wood scattered about where assumably part of the cart.
What does my scent tell me? Does it seem like it's going towards the ruins?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that the old man went into the Durham went into.
I call out to any birds in the area, and it's just like, is it safe?
A bird flits by and just says no, and then flies off.
I would like to discern realities and look for paths of anything that slither for a +1 for an 8.
You see like the drag marks of the thing, and you come to the point where there's like an impact site where the ground is like depressed more, and a lot of the wood is there. Like that's where the whatever crushing happened was. And as you look further back towards the cave, there other large, not as deep indents, kind of heading back towards the cave. And they seem to be over the top of something else that has cut through the mud, but you're not quite able to put that all together.
Let's start heading towards the ruins.
Yeah.
And as we do, I take a quick glance back at the lake.
Odds or evens. It's a 2. You look back, and then you look back towards the cave, and you get a weird feeling. You look back again, nothing's there.
Pull out
And
a torch from my adventuring gear.
I pull out Chisui, my blood blade, and I have it readied as we walk towards the ruins.
Cool. So you draw your demonic blade, and Husk pulls out a torch, and you guys step into the cave. Cave is very dark very quickly, and what's illuminated by the torch is limited. But you know you're in like a long hallway that slowly begins to open up. You also feel that you're going downhill, or going deeper into the earth as you go deeper into the side of the town.
Just gonna keep following my nose.
I'm right behind him.
As you go in, you start to notice the walls, like they're carved into and stuff, but you're under the earth, and they're not like made walls, they're just cut out. And you start to see glints of that salty rock, and they seem to be they start really small and then slowly getting bigger as you go. As the volume of the room opens, you do hear like the sound of water slightly moving, like a gentle stream sound. But this chamber gets so big that you're not illuminating very much of it. You feel like you're on the end of what is maybe a very large room.
Oh man, dude, if you're in here, you better come out where I can see you. It's the least you could do for all our trouble coming all the way up here.
I shout.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Your voice echoes through the chamber.
I look over at Husk and go, I don't think he's in here.
Oh, he's in here. I can smell him.
Well, if he's in here, he's not alive anymore. I would like to discern realities and try and see if I feel the same way, like as if we're being watched. That's a 6. That's a fucking fail. And in the worst time to fail.
So you take pause for a moment. In the silence after his voice echoes, you hear a shifting of stone, big stone, somewhere in this cavern, like.
Husk, I don't like the sound of this. And I prepare my blade.
And I start sniffing the air, trying to find if I can pick up a different smell in the air.
Like dust being kicked up, and it's a little bit moist from whatever that water is. And you still smell the smell of derm, but you don't smell like another animalistic smell. Like you don't smell the musk of something alive or dead other than the derm smell.
Come on, Kai. If we don't come with some kind of evidence, we won't get no reward.
Determinedly, but cautiously, keep following the scent further and further into the ruins.
Cool.
I'm following him.
As you step further into the ruins, you go towards the smell. It's also towards the sound of the rocks. And as you come forward, the light slowly starts to illuminate in front of you what is left of a human body that has been smashed and seemingly dragged. His his head is not really there anymore. The chest has been compressed flat, and the arms are crushed flat. And you can see like one of the legs is bent weird, and it looks like he had been dragged back into here. And as it illuminates the body, you can see he's clutching a large crystal of the salt rock, and you can see deeper in here, the salt rock that is bouncing off your light is getting bigger.
Is old man Dern wearing shoes?
One of the shoes is off.
I go to his body and I take his shoe.
His old man Dern's shoes should be enough.
Let's get the hell out of here before whatever did that to him does it to us.
As you say that, you hear these loud rock sounds come closer, and your light starts to hit something, and it moves into the light, and it's just like seemingly like a pillar of stone has hit the earth in front of you, and it's illuminating part of it. And as you look up with the light of the torch, you realize you are standing in front of a 9 foot tall humanoid figure made entirely of stone.
A fucking stone giant. I would like to turn towards the figure and use the Donna's Visage of Death, terrifying the target. You can see if you cast the Cause of Fear spell for as long as you can focus your attention on them. And I look at Husk and I tell him to start running.
So you go to focus your will upon it, and as you look into where its face should be, you realize there is no face. Your immediate thought of this is some kind of stone giant, yours replaced with, oh no, this is a fucking magical construct of stone. This is a stone golem. And it doesn't feel fear. As it raises its hand and starts slowly builds momentum to smash you.
I just yelled at Husk and yelled, "Run!"
So I have 2 hold, and I'm gonna spend 1 on one of my moves called Boars on Parade. I'm just gonna charge.
Put your head down and charge. As you see Husk charge, like literally you do the opposite of what you just told him to do. As you realize you're
Hey, he just
will
said
upon it.
run. He didn't say where.
That's true. You yell run, and he takes that as charge. And as the creature's winding up to crush you, he strikes it in the leg that is imbalanced by the attack motion, and the creature falls to one of its knees, and its arm smashes in the ground in between you two, dealing no damage to any of you. Why don't you roll your damage?
4.
40. So you do 4 damage, you take a chunk of rock off the leg, and it kind of basically falls prone for it. So yeah, I'll let you guys go again.
I stick my tusks into its leg and I like rip a chunk of rock out. I'm just gonna keep headbutting it with my tusks. 5.
5's a fail. You go to keep attacking and it swings down its giant stone hand by its leg, smacking you away. 6 damage. It hits you and you go skittering across this stone floor. Your torch goes skittering away too. You are cast into darkness, except for the shadowy glow of your blade, which only illuminates right in front of you. What are you doing?
I'm summoning the supernatural darkness into the area. That's a 5. What? That's 11.
Cool. So you do what you do. You reach out to the darkness, and it becomes your eyes, and you start to see the shape of this massive room. First, it spills out in front of you, and you see the floor and the salt crystals and the body and the giant stone golem, which is partially prone next to you. And the darkness reaches out, and it hits the torch and your ally, who is gathering himself. And it starts to hit the walls of the cave, and there's a giant door in the back that you couldn't see before. That's where the water is running off the sides of the stonework or some kind of ornate fashion. And the door there in the back is opened. One of the 2 giant massive, it's 12-foot doors made of pure stone. One has been pushed open. And that's as far as your darkness reaches.
So yeah, then I'm gonna leap up onto its arm and like Cloud, just fucking drag my sword up its arm.
Okay, yeah, okay.
5, 4, that's 9, that makes it 11. It's +2.
Okay, roll your damage then.
That is a 6.
So you jam your sword into it and run along it, and chunks of the stone body are flaking off as you slash down its side. So now it's the golem's turn, and the golem is going to, feeling you rip down, aware that you have ripped down part of its side, it reaches into the earth and pulls out a large crystal of salt and throws it in your general direction.
Can I try and
defy
dodge
dangers? Yeah, you can defy.
Yeah, that is a 7.
That's a mixed result. So you can take the hit, or you can, to dodge the hit, you have to let go of your darkness. Your magical focus will be broken.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hold the sword up and try and
Take the
block
hit.
that. Yeah.
Take 6 damage as, which you have 2
I take
armor,
4.
so 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
As this giant block of solid fucking salt smashes into you, and it shatters against your armor, and it's fucking painful. You like your head is ringing like your armor is a gong and you're trapped. Husk.
While he's picking up the giant crystal and throwing it, I'm gonna grab it by its leg and try to lift it off the ground.
So, it is not in the light. Your torch has been thrown with you to the side. You
I know, but
hear
I
chaos.
charged into him, so I'm like right next to him.
No, but you rolled a fail, and he bitch slapped you away.
Oh, he bit slapped.
You and the torch went flung, and you slammed somewhere in the. So all you can see is where the torch is glowing a few yards away from you.
Yeah,
And
I
you
can see
hear this
his-
chaos.
And my
And you
Yeah, I
can
can see
smell
his
your
move.
friend. You can smell your friend.
yeah, and just
So you kinda know where he is.
Yeah, well, where I kind of gather myself and I try to listen, but I kind of am still in a boar's rage, and I'm just gonna run wildly into the dark and make another
Okay, so-
attack.
Then you'll take a -1 because you don't know exactly.
10.
Roll damage.
Woo! 8.
8. Nice. Fuck. Okay, you guys have done a fair amount of damage. You charge into, you hit solid rock, and you just go to fucking town on this chunk until you feel a chunk like come off in your hands, and you drop it to the floor, knowing you've taken a large mass from this stone creature. So, Guy, you see through your darkness powers, you see your friend charge in and remove a chunk from the bottom of its foot as the golem is trying to right itself. What do you do?
I kind of shake myself a little bit and recover from the hit, and just immediately try to slash the arm off. And as I go to slash it, I yell out, "For the Lady of Death!" Come on, motherfucker, for the Lady of Death. That's a double motherfucking 6. Give me the rest. That's a fucking.
All right, roll
14.
your
What's up?
damage.
Hey. Let's go, Lady of Death. That is a fucking 7. Let's go.
Nice.
Lop that bitch
So
off.
you guys have done a lot of damage this time. So you come up and you slam your blade into the cracks between the rocks on one of the arms and follow through, and it comes loose, and part of the golem's forearm falls away as it stands back up. It's going to, being attacked by both of you, it's going to reach down and it grabs its now severed arm and it sweeps along the floor at both of you. Please defy danger accordingly.
I'm just gonna con and just like, my calves are so muscular.
You block, get your club in your face.
Like when Sephiroth throws that big ass fucking thing at him, he just like tries to jump over it and cut it in half.
Okay, you're using your strength. You're going to try to like power through with your sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and power through my sword.
Rolled a 9.
Rolled a 7 plus 2 plus that's a 9.
Couple of mixed results. All right. One of you, it's going to take damage.
I'll take the damage.
I think we're going to let the dice decide who wants to be odds and who wants to be evens.
I'll be odds.
Even.
Your odds. It is a 2. So Husk will take 2d6 damage. 7 points of damage. So Husk, you brace for the attack. Kai steps forward and powers through with his sword, slicing through the arm where it would hit him, and it throws it at you. The chunk, centrifugal force pulls it around to you, and it smashes into you, smashing you hard for 7 points of damage. It breaks upon your body.
Yeah, while it's breaking on my body, I want to grab it and hold on tight.
Okay, so you can try and grab part of it.
And just like super winded, just like
Okay. Roll your strength.
11.
11. Nice. So you grab like the fucking wrist as the forearm part explodes along your body. What are you trying to do with it?
Stop him from moving it.
What is Kai doing?
Just playing tug of war.
I'm prepping to cut off his other arm.
Okay, well, why don't you try and do that?
That's an 8. That's a mix.
That's a mixed result. Roll your damage, because you're also going to take damage, because that's how a mixed result works on Atkinson.
That is a 10.
So you deal 10 damage, you come up and slice the other arm off the body, and it breaks into pieces, and that debris falls upon you as you land from your strike. And that debris deals you 6 damage.
Okay.
As big hunks of rock fall into you. But now the golem, as you can sense through your
4.
darkness magic, it is armless. You guys have dealt with quite a bit of it. It's going to try to fucking just stomp. It just starts stomping on the ground around itself where you guys are. Roll the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna curl up into a little ball.
Okay. Is that Constitution?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and push Husk out of danger.
10.
Oh. So you're making a strength and you're foregoing your own safety, meaning I get to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and I rolled a 9.
Cool. So Husk rolls in the ball, and you give him a firm push, and he rolls away from combat as you are stomped on and take 2 damage, which is your
Cool. So no damage.
You just get kicked in the back and take a couple of steps forward, but you don't actually take anything. What do you guys want to do? Husk, you roll away from the immediate threat.
I'm gonna spend my last hold and charge back in. Just like when you're got a bunch of adrenaline, you just gotta walk it off for a second. So like I roll into a little ball and I roll to the outskirts of the battle, and then I unroll and I'm like, and I.
So are you doing the same one?
Yeah.
Piggy's Rage or whatever it was called?
Boars on parade.
Okay, so roll hack and slash damage as you then pound into its ankles again.
5.
5. Okay, so you slam into its ankle, and it, walkers in Star Wars being tripped by Ewoks, tips and falls onto its hip and smashes into the ground, and the legs, both the legs come off, and then the upper body parts all seem to fall apart, and it seems to lose its magical cohesion. And now you're just standing in a pile of boulders.
You know what I say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
And I walk over. Is the dead body of Doran still uncovered from the rock fall?
You can investigate it if you like. I'll say it's.
Well, the reason why I ask, I have plunge your blade into a corpse. Its spirit will answer 3 questions you pose to it to the best of its knowledge. So I walk over and I want to just plunge my blade into his body. And before I do so, I pray to apologize for the fact I'm about to do that. That's going to be a 7.
So either you got to spend a torment or lose HP.
I'm going to spend a torment.
So as you do this, you stab into the body, and like up from that comes like a shadow spirit that looks like the old man, but not crushed to bits. And it looks around for a moment and then stares up into your eyes. What do you ask him?
I ask him if he saw anyone around when the rock monster crushed him to death.
And your sword kind of pulses with its magical shadow energy as he answers. I was alone in the cave. I was gathering salt rocks. The best rocks are deep in the cave. I was alone.
I want to ask him then where he left his horse and carriage when he came into the cave.
I left him at the front entrance.
So that means the horse ran all the way home.
He's a good horse. Easily spooked.
And then I want to ask him if he knows anything about the ruins above the cave and the stories that have been told in the town about it.
There's old legends about the cave holding a monster and the ancients creating guardians to protect the seal.
Can I hear this?
Yeah.
I spout lore on the ancients.
Yeah.
8.
You know that there was legends of the ancients sealing away power monsters or evil powers to try to better the world. And the stories of them like building places and guardians and magical spells and all sorts of things that are askew through history, the details.
Oi, God, if this is a temple to the ancients, there's great power resting here. Could be trouble, could be
Yeah.
valuable.
It could. I say we get this information that Dern is dead back to his people. What
Or
do you
we
say,
don't
Husk?
work for free, eh?
Maybe the town will pay us. Plus, both of us are in too rough a shape to handle anything else that controls the Guardian.
Let's go get our reward.
Let's do it then.
So you guys are going to exit the cave the way you came?
Yeah, I would like to try and keep the darkness summoned until we exit the cave.
So as you're walking out of this big cave, it does slowly retract. You start to lose the edges of the big cave. This is like staying with you, I guess.
And I go and pick up my torch.
You feel it start to come off the other giant door that was pushed open in the back of the room. You start to lose sight of that and the water features. And then your vision follows you out of the cave until you exit into what is now twilight as the sun is set. You guys continue home, I assume, back to the town.
Yeah.
You have to pass by the lake. As you get towards the lake, you start to remember that feeling you had. Tell me, odds or evens.
Odds.
The lake is quiet, and you feel uncomfortable, but nothing of significance.
I shout out to the birds again.
We killed the rock beast. Is it safe now?
Oh, Carissa.
3.
You hear, "Who? Who's the rock beast? Who?"
Fair
And
enough.
you rolled a fail?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that moment, there is some bubbling in the water that you notice, Kai, as Husk is talking to the owl. And you look in, there's some ripples by the bubbles, and then all of a sudden a serpent-like head shoots out of the water, probably 100 feet into the air, something massive.
Husk, what the fuck is that?
Who? What do you mean, who? Who are you? Who are you talking to? You flippin' little bird.
And I grab onto Husk and I start to try to run for like a rock or anything for cover.
Oi, what's going on?
There's trees.
Yeah, I push him into the trees.
Why don't you roll a defy danger?
Strength. That's me. 12.
Cool. So you push Husk, run into the trees. This giant serpent-like head whips down and snatches and rips off some of the branches at the edge of the trees, eating that owl, snatching that owl out of existence. And it hisses.
We gotta get back to fucking town. We can't fight this thing right now. Neither of us got it in us.
Well, we need the whole bloody army to take on that thing.
Got that right. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And I'm just like
You guys are trying to retreat,
staying deep
staying
in the,
into the
line.
trees,
Yeah.
and running away from the left. Okay.
And
Why don't you make a wisdom check not to get lost?
I got a natural 10 for an
7.
11.
So you know where you are. You know where you are. You get away from the lake and then pull back out into the road where the two roads intersected and travel back to the town. And it's now nighttime as you get to the town. Front gate area is much quieter now. That hubbub is dispersed. As you walk into town, all the shops in the center of town, that is the market, are closed up. All the little carts have their covers on. But there was a few buildings in town, like larger buildings, and one of them is the inn and saloon, and that place is lit up and happening. And the rest of the town is fairly quiet.
Yeah, I say we head into the inn.
Yeah, you go in, you step into the saloon. It's a small town, so when you guys come back, the whole saloon stops and turns over and looks at you.
Oi, who knew old man Dunn?
And you see the guard. He's not in his guard uniform anymore, but the guard you talked to earlier, he seems like he's off duty and drinking. Oh, we all knew Dern.
You his kin?
Did you find anything?
I present the shoe.
He's in the ruins up by the lake.
Is he
He's no longer with us, sadly. There was a gigantic rock monster. It was it was a stone guardian of some kind.
He was a fool. He was disturbing the tomb of the ancients.
People are, oh. And when somebody else goes, how do we know they're telling the truth? And then another guy gets up and he goes over the shoe. He's like, may I take this shoe from you, sir?
Hand him the shoe.
And he starts looking it over. The guard says, this is Marty. He's the town cobbler. And he looks over the shoes and says, yep. I've already prepared these shoes for Durham on more than one occasion. These are his shoes. For this is definitely his shoe. And there's more hubbub. Oh, Durham. Listen, what do you think killed him?
The rock monster smashed him to bits.
There was a stone guardian protecting a gate, a door, a giant door that was keeping something in that the ancients didn't want to get out.
There's like a hush across this whole bar. Like, you have everyone's 100% undivided attention.
And if you look at us, we risked our lives just to bring you this story. Just to know not to go back over there. You know, kind of looking around at everybody and go,
well, charisma.
You think he could have done this to us? We fought the same thing that killed him. 8.
The guard slaps you on the shoulder for him and says, thanks for bringing us back this information. Let me buy you guys a drink. Gestures you over the bar. And the bar slowly goes back to people starting up their side conversations. Though the subject of Dern is the subject of most of those side conversations.
I look at the guy and go, what's your name?
Mathis.
I look over at Mathis and say, it's not the only problem you guys have around here.
What do you mean?
Me and Husk, we saw something in the lake. Damn near got us. Took an owl right out of the tree. So long it could reach the tree line.
What was it?
Serpent-like creature.
Roll
Like
charisma.
11. It's a natural
When
10.
you say that, he's like, keep your voice down. These people are already scared. I don't need to fight them. Tell me what it was. Keep your voice down.
I can't say for sure. Probably some kind of sea serpent. But it was big enough we'd need a good lot of men to take it on.
It's living in the lake?
I don't know if it's living outside of the lake. We just saw it in the lake.
Just
This
how
isn't
many
good.
people have been disappearing around here?
Oh, there has been a few. There was the beggar hasn't shown up in a while, and one of the children a few weeks back, we thought she was probably got by coyotes, was in the lake area. There was a few travelers as well that we suspected to see again. Said they were traveling that direction past the lake. They were supposed to be back through this part of town by now. They haven't turned up either. That could be coincidence, though. We might be connecting dots that aren't connected, if you know what I mean.
I lean into him a little bit and I go, it sounds like to me all those stories have one thing in common. We're all by the lake, pal. I think we both know what that means unless you want me to yell it out in front of everyone right now.
No.
What about the lake?
He takes a big, long drag of his beer. So, tomorrow, the three of us are going to go have a talk with the man. And then he turns to the bartender and is like, Oi, you give these guys room for the night and put it on the mayor's tab.
Me and you are gonna get along all right.
And I pull out my drinking horn from my pack and I go straight to the tap and start filling it up. But since I'm like an orc, it's like it's big. It's a big one.
Yeah. The bartender looks at the guard like, what the fuck? And the guard's just like, that's just, these men have clearly been through a hell of a fight. And he gestures to you like, You're all fucking bloody. Like, there's blood matted in your hair and shit from being crushed by rocks.
This one holds 3 points if you're trying to keep track.